Hi everyone, and welcome to the Have You Got 10 Minutes podcast with me, Nikki Tapper. I'll be chatting with household names from music, TV, film, business, sport, and because they're busy people, hence the title. We'll hear how they started in their careers, what they're currently up to, and their favourite music track. So let's talk to this episode's guest from TV, presenter Craig Rowe. So Craig, have you got 10 minutes?
Are you, Nikki? I've always got 10 minutes. Always.
Oh, Craig, what a joy to get to speak to you. Thank you so much for doing this. And as I said, yes, you are one of the key faces of Channel 4's Place in the Sun, a really popular programme where you're helping people buy those lovely properties across the world in sunnier climes. Well, for those who are listening who may already live in sunnier climes, but for us here in the UK, it's a dream. It's a joy. You look across and you go, oh, if only. But tell me a little bit about you. And for those who don't know you, how did it all start for you getting into TV anyway?
As a kid, I actually wanted to be an actor. That was my kind of childhood dream. But I guess it was very different back in the 70s, 80s, because you didn't really see many black faces on TV. And the black characters really in things then were kind of caricatures in many ways. So, I don't know, I think, my dad, who'd come over from Jamaica, was very keen on me getting a, inverted commas, proper job. So he wasn't very enamored with the idea of me going into showbiz. And I understand why, he had my best interest at heart. So that dream I kind of put on ice. But it just goes to show if you've got that sort of desire in you to do something, it will come out in some shape or form. And then when I was at university, there was an advert for a new Channel 4 show called Watch This Space. And it was like a competition, and you had to submit a video. And then if you got picked through to that, you might get an audition. And I ended up into the live sort of finals of that. And I didn't get the job, but it did sort of reignite that passion to be doing something in front of the camera. Anyway, I ended up then sort of working in the travel industry for a while. And then after that, I then started working in TV behind the scenes in production. I was at the BBC for 7 years, and I was at UK Gold for 2 years. And actually throughout that time, I started doing little pieces to camera and getting a little show reel together and started putting it out there. And, little bits and pieces sort of came from it. But I think my big break really was when I'd been traveling, and I came back from traveling, and I got speaking to a casting director, and I got a break on a satellite channel. And from there, and that was about 2003. Oh. And from there on in, it kind of, the more you do, the more you're able to sort of show people, and then sort of more doors started opening from there.
With all of that going on for you, what was it then that kept you going? Because your story is so similar to some of the other guests that I've had here on Have You Got 10 Minutes, about coming from Caribbean parents where you need to get a proper job. What are you doing? That type of conversation they had. And as you rightly said, because you weren't seeing so many black or brown faces on TV, it was definitely not an area that parents thought would work for you. But and you said that you obviously had that desire and that spark. And then, even when you got the break, what was that like? Did you still think, gosh, this isn't really for me?
No, when I got the break, that then reignited me even more.
Oh, yes.
And obviously it was a long time that I got Place in the Sun in 2021. So it was a long time between, that first break and then getting to be on one of, on Channel 4's biggest daytime show. But obviously in that interim, I did Sky Travel, I've done QVC, I've been a guest on This Morning. So, but I think getting that first break did give me the confidence to then keep forward. And even though I always had other jobs in the background, sort of inverted commas normal jobs, I was always then doing a little bit of hustling on the side to see if I could get more into TV. And I would say it's probably from about 2008 that I've worked full-time as a presenter. So I'm very proud, actually. I've managed to sort of stay 16 years working as a presenter in this industry because, as you, it'd be a tricky old industry to be in.
I was going to say, I mean, again, that's the key word there, really. It is a tricky industry. You're not seeing many. I mean, for you, your personal experiences, have you felt still supported as a black man in an industry that doesn't see many black men?
Yeah, so with the main sort of companies I've presented for, I have felt supported. I mean, I think there's been instances where I haven't been, but actually for the main jobs that I've done, I have felt supported. A Place in the Sun and Freeform, who make A Place in the Sun, have got a very diverse, range of people in their presenter team. And QVC also is a very supportive employer. So I think I've been very fortunate. And I think also one thing that I've also done throughout my career is, when I've had the people, the naysayers and the people who haven't been supportive, then I've probably just focused on finding people who are. So I'm always someone who, whatever sort of tribulations life's thrown at me, I've tried to stay positive, and if one avenue hasn't worked, I've reached down another.
And what's given you that desire to do so? Because I know there's lots of people who say, I really want to do something, but and they may start something, but then they don't finish it. What's made you keep going then, and find the people that will come alongside you as such? Yeah,
I guess I should say as well, there are about 1,000 things I'm always saying I'm going to do and never get round to doing. So it's not like I'm some superhuman or anything. But I guess I've just stayed open. I've stayed positive. I've tried to always be very compassionate with people I'm working with and working for. And I guess that's helped me in many ways. But it's an interesting question because I guess consciously I don't quite know what I've done, but I guess it just all boils back to the sort of person and the personality I am.
Mm-hmm. And I gather a little bit of your upbringing, I suppose, as well, that, you're as you said, Caribbean heritage, where it weren't easy for them. And so I suppose that, again, that ability to stand the tests and go against the grain.
Yes. Yes, that's a really good point, Nikki. And, both my parents, and particularly my dad, I would say, have always instilled in me the work ethic, but also respect. And I think that's, and I've worked very hard over the years. Nothing, as we know, nothing comes to us easily normally. And I've never been afraid of hard work and to persevere with things. So it's interesting when you sort of look back and think what shaped me, and of course my upbringing is a huge part of that.
Yeah, brilliant. So look, there you are then, because we're nearly up to the 10 minutes. Oh my gosh!
What? Already?
Exactly. You see, and he's a busy man, peeps. He's a busy man. So there you are. You're one of the key presenters, like we said, for Place in the Sun. What's planned then going into the rest of the year? Are we still going to see you on Place in the Sun?
Yeah, well, there's a new series going out at the moment, so I'll be in Carcassonne in this new series. And if you don't watch it live, you can of course catch up on it on the Channel 4 player. I'm going to Portugal to do a revisit in a few days, because now, as well as A Place in the Sun, we've also got A Place in the Sun, What Happened Next. So we go and catch up with, find out how they're getting on in the homes that we found for them. And then, it's quite a busy year of filming. And I'm going to the Greek islands for a couple of weeks in June and July. Then I'll be back in Spain. And then as the year goes on, I think we're filming a bit further afield, but I can't say too much about that because it's not confirmed. But there is going to be some filming away from, I will say. So whether or not I'll be going, I'm not sure, but I know the show has definitely got that on the horizon. So it's going to be a really interesting rest of the year for Place in the Sun. So that's kind of what my immediate future is looking like.
Oh, well, it sounds amazing. I know that in recent weeks as well, you've been having to take care of yourself physically because you've been sorting out your back.
Yes, I pulled my back at the gym, and I did a post about this on Instagram, and I'll say it again now. If your back is twinging, or your back is feeling tight, stretch it, rest. Don't go and throw weights around in the gym. Listen to your body.
Well, with that word of encouragement and motivation for those of you who like to go to the gym, Craig Rowe, thank you so much. The thing I need to ask you, though, before I let you go, as I'm asking all my guests for their favourite piece of music and why, the piece of music that makes you feel alive, gets you up, brings back wonderful memories. So what's the music you like, your favourite music track, and why, Craig?
Well, do you know what? This is sort of going back to the 80s. And my favourite group at the time, 5 Star, that we all remember.
Oh, gosh, yes.
I think, you know, for me being a teenager, seeing these 5 black siblings from London who were sort of conquering the world with their pop music. And I saw Denise Pearson sing live recently, and she was absolutely brilliant, such a brilliant performer. So my track choice would be Can't Wait Another Minute by 5 Star, because even all these years on, whenever I listen to it, there's that little teenager in me that gets up and dances the routines around the living room.
Oh, Craig, you're too funny. Bless you. Thank you so much. I really do hope you go and find that. Go and have a listen to Craig's favourite track, one of his favourite tracks. But for now, Craig Rowe, thank you for giving me 10 minutes.
Oh, thank you, Nikki. Great to speak to you.
So many thanks to my guest, Craig Rowe. Please do follow him on social media platforms. And also do the same for me. Just look for Nikki Tapper, NIKKITAPPER. And join me again when I get the opportunity to ask a guest, have you got 10 minutes? Have You Got 10 Minutes is produced and presented by me, Nikki Tapper, for NT Events Limited and Nikki Tapper Limited.